All right, so the question is, if I was going to make an indoor scene, how would I do that? So I'm going to now go to Google, and I'm going to go to images, Google Images, and I need to type an image search for a living room, okay? So let's see, I'm going to try and find a nice, simple living room that I like. Okay, this is nice. This is nice. So I'm going to just click on this, and I'm going to copy image. All right. Now I'm going to go back to Photopea. I'm going to do File, New. Okay. And remember, it still has to have a transparent background. It still has to be for screen because I'm going to be using this in a video. I want it to be full HD, but I want the DPI to be 300 in case I ever want to print it. Like if I ever make a comic book and I want to use this background. Most animators have a handful of backgrounds and keep reusing them for different stories. Okay, it's much easier than to create them every single time. So it's to your favor if you do a good job on this. Edit, paste. There's my living room. I'm going to take that living room and I'm going to unlock this background. I'm going to take the rectangular marquee. I'm going to take that living room that I just pasted here. I'm going to move it out here. And I'm going to do edit, transform, scale. Now, if I hold the shift key, it will stay in proportion. I can make it bigger without stretching or warping it. Okay. So I'm doing that, and that's fine. I hit the check mark. Okay. Now I'm going to do select, deselect, and I need to add another layer. So layer, new, layer. I'm going to go back to this background layer, and I'm going to change the opacity. I'm going to gray it out. Okay. Now I'm going to lock this layer because I do not want anything to happen in this layer because I can't keep this layer. I didn't make this kitchen. I didn't make this living room. I didn't make any of that stuff. I didn't take the photograph. It's not mine. So I cannot keep it in my final design. So I'm going to go up to layer 1, and this is where I'm going to do all my drawing. Okay. So I go to my brush tool, make the brush a little fatter. I'm not going to do this whole thing. I just want to do enough of it that you get the idea. I click here. I hold the shift key. I click here. I hold the shift key. I click here. I click here, then hold the shift key. Okay. You get the idea. There might be some very difficult to draw things, and I'm using the fact that I can easily draw straight lines to draw those things without having to figure them out, okay? Now, am I going to be able to draw every detail this way? Probably not. But you can see how I can get a room and it actually looks pretty good. When I'm done, I have to, before I export it, get rid of that layer. I'm not allowed to keep it. It's not allowed to be part of my final picture. And I'm going to have to add a new layer in underneath and use that layer for my coloring. Okay. So let's say I want to color here. I'm going to go up to layer 1 and I'm going to select this. Okay, hold on. We go get the magic wand. You see those crawling ants? Now if I go to this layer and I do edit fill, and I pick a custom color, well, let's see. So I can just go to, let me just cancel this. It's now selected, but it's in this middle layer, okay? So now I'm going to go here to the color picker. Let's see. All right, now edit fill foreground color. That color is in the middle layer, not the top layer. So I can do an entire layer of just color and another layer of just lines, just like I would do for any other picture, okay? So if you are doing an interior, I highly suggest that you use interiors that you find on the internet, but just keep them, okay, Sebastian, keep them simple. Now I'm going to go to Google Drive right now. I'm going to go to turnaround. And I'm going to see if I can find this. Yes. Okay. So this was a turnaround that was done by a student last year in my computer animation class. And they used a room that they found on the internet. They recreated it using Photoshop, and they used it as their background for this animation. Okay? That's what I would expect you to do if your scene in your skeleton dance requires an interior scene. Okay? So I'm going to stop recording now. I'll put this in